Welcome to Workshop World. Today I'm going to take you through my favorite way to finish a woodworking project. Now there's hundreds of ways of doing it. Polyurethane, polyacrylic, boiled linseed oil, tung oil, the list goes on and on and on. But over the last, 6 or 8 years, I've come up with the way that I like to do it and gets the best results. Originally I started off with polyurethane. That's how I started doing everything. And the polyurethane looks nice, it's cumbersome. I mean, you put it on, you're supposed to put thin layers, but it always seems like I put too much on. And then there's runs and there's drips. Hate that. So I came across, I don't remember where I saw it, but cutting down your polyurethane with mineral spirits. And you can buy that already as a 50-50 mixture. They come in quart cans. I think Waco makes them, Wacko, but it's a little bit more expensive than I want to pay. So I like to buy my polyurethane and mineral spirits separate, and I'll show you. This is a real simple trick. Basically, it's 1 for 1. The nice thing making it myself is I want to make it thicker, I can. If I want to make it thinner, I can. So I'm just going to start off with, basically all you need is a consistent measuring device. So we're just going to use this little candle holder that's always sitting in my lab, in my shop here. And let's do 3 of those and 3 of these. So that's my mixture. And once it's mixed up, the reason why I like this so well and what makes it work, so let's back up here, is the mineral spirits thins out your polyurethane. What happens is when you put it on a board, the mineral spirits evaporate quickly. And when they evaporate quickly like that, it leaves that thin layer of polyurethane on the board. So it dries fast, it doesn't give it a chance to create that drip, and it dries so fast that it puts a nice thin layer on. Super easy to do, and since it dries fast, you can come back and put coats on quicker. All right, now that we've got our 50-50 mixture of polyurethane and mineral spirits mixed up, now I'm going to show you the full process of how this is all going to go together. First, we take our piece of wood, our finished product, and we're going to add some Danish oil. This is natural clear finish. I don't want to change the color, it's already dark. They have other ones like walnut color, and I'm not sure what other colors they have. But I'm just going to apply it just like I would a stain, and you let it soak in for a while. Now, the reason why I do this is Danish oil, it's an oil, it goes down below the surface of the wood and protects it and colors it that way. Now, polyurethane, on the other hand, protects it from the surface. So anything, it doesn't penetrate the wood very far, it sits on the surface. I started this out because I wanted something to last a long time, so I put the oil on it to penetrate and protect it below the surface, and polyurethane to protect the surface, the top surface. Now, so here's kind of what you'll expect, especially on a walnut, is it's going to darken up quite a bit more. So from this point, we need to let it dry. Everything I've ever read on this says you should wait 3 days or 72 hours for this to dry. I've done it in as little as 24 hours and had good results. So it's kind of up to you. I don't let this soak in really hard. I don't drown it with a Danish oil. And then I can go ahead and finish it pretty quickly. So let's say we're 2 days in, which I actually am on this. I believe it's 2, might be 3 days. 3 days actually, since I Danish oiled that. All right, so this next part is very important. I'm using a lint-free rag. Now, the reason why is if you're going to use a regular cotton sock or something like to put on here, you are going to have fuzz everywhere, and it's going to look horrible. The other thing you can use is a foam brush. I've had better luck with these, but when I run out of these, I'll be going to foam brushes. So it's just as simple as this. I'm going to dab it wipe it on till it's all covered. You don't want to take a long time doing this because the mineral spirits will start to dry on you, and then you'll be going over the same area because you can't tell that it's been done or not, or it's soaked in. So especially in your first coat, you're just going to cover it and move on from there. Now this is going to take a lot more coats than just polyurethane would take because they're much thinner layers. That's fine. This stuff dries really fast, and if you're in a hurry, you could go ahead and put another coat on in an hour or two. I tend to like to let it sit overnight so I don't start gooping up thin gummy layers, if that makes any sense. Now also, I'm going to show you every step of the way on this because when I first started trying to do this, I started to freak out because right around coat 3, this is going to look like crap. I don't know why. It looks really bad. And then after you do a couple sandings and keep going, the layers start to build up and it looks beautiful. So we're going to let this dry overnight. I'll come back and do another one tomorrow. All right, now we're down to the point where I'm satisfied with the finish. And just to recap, what I did was 2 coats of 50/50 polyurethane and mineral spirits. Then I sanded lightly with 400 grit. Back to another 2 coats, sanded with the 600 grit. 2 more coats, and usually I use 1,000 grit paper, but I didn't have it, so I used a 1,500 grit paper. And 2 more coats after that, and right now we've got a pretty glossy finish, which I forgot to mention at the beginning. I used semi-gloss polyurethane for this. You know, whenever you build up more and more layers, you're going to get more of a shine. So if you want less of a shine to it, back off and use some satin. Now, if I was making a table or end table or something like that, this is where I would end, and I'd be extremely happy with the results. But since this is a plaque, and I have a step where I can make it even nicer, so we're going to go over and do that right now, and I will show you, if you're ever going to use a simple project and you want this thing to really pop, really shine, and look sharp, one more step to go, and then we'll be done. So let's go over to the other work table. All right, to finish this plaque off, we are basically going to buff this to an ultra high gloss finish. So to start off with, I have this stuff called Hut Ultra Gloss Plastic Polish. Works really good. I'm sure you could even use like a car polish, a wax. But this is going to give you micro scratches on the surface and get rid of any high and low areas and just really buff this out. So I basically just slather it on the top, buff it out for a while, and then we're going to take take it off with a clean, dry rag after we're done polishing it. I don't know if you can tell or not by the light in here, but this is a super high gloss finish. It shines and it shows very well. Now I wouldn't try to do this with a piece of equipment or a piece of furniture because there's no good way of getting a buffer in there. If you don't keep it consistent, it's going to look bad. So I hope this helps. I hope you try this out and let me know how it works for you. I know it takes a little longer than going the easy route with just straight polyurethane, but the results are much better in my opinion. So until next time, I'm John. Talk to you later.